So, Dr. Manley, one of the things that I'd like to know as a professor and as someone who's worked in law enforcement and also in the courts is how do you see this film, this documentary, being beneficial to those various communities, whether it's legal, whether it's education, law enforcement? How can those communities benefit from watching and seeing this film?
Well, to paraphrase William Faulkner, the author, he said, the past is not dead. In fact, the past is not even the past. So what happened back then happens now. We have police, we can't blame everything on the policeman. That's a very tough job.
It is.
And like I told the gentleman downstairs, he had his pictures on the wall, that's basically the basis of the infrastructure of society. You got to have policemen and the sanitation engineers. If you don't have them, your culture and civilization just collapse. I mean, you trash, human and trash, just will take over.
Yeah.
So the fact is, what they did is not so much how things happen, and we're still seeing the same type of thinking this very day, as far as who should be in charge of things. It's like Obama. I mean, to some people, Obama was never the president. Who would holler out in Congress, "You lying," only to a black president? In other words, here's a black man supposedly in charge of the greatest power in the world, and we know we got 80% of white Americans say that man is not my president. And if you read Ta-Nehisi Coates, he said this man, Trump, is the white president, and he is. Every division of white culture voted for Trump. White women voted for him, even after what he said he would do to them. You had the intelligent white, so-called intelligentsia, they voted for him. All the media voted for him. The white people, 80% of all whites voted for Trump, black or not. He is, and he tells you, that's who I am. The neo-Nazis, they're good people. I'll run over you with a car, but it's still good.
Well, you said something that we hear so often, that law enforcement is the problem. And I like that you said they're not, but what, after seeing this, what could a police officer learn and kind of bring back to the force, to the community, to better serve?
The first thing, the policeman has to be a human being like the rest of us. I mean, it's like a doctor, you say, well, this man is a surgeon, but he's still a human being. He got to treat you as a human being. In other words, if we get back to all religion, there's one mantra that stands out in every religion, and that's do unto others as I have you do unto me. So the policeman has to maintain his humanity, and that's all he needs to do. If he's human, he's going to treat people the way he'd like to be treated. And the sad thing about how we use the police is in the paper today, the case of the veteran, the Afghan veteran running down the street naked. And the policeman said that I was a threat of my life, and the only weapon the poor man had was a heat-seeking missile hanging between his legs. And he said, "I'm gonna kill you." Well, his humanity is at fault. I mean, common sense went out the window, everything else. There's no need to kill a naked man, and you have a taser, you got a baton to use, everything else. So it's not the policeman. It's like any group of people. They are good and they're bad.
They're good and they're bad.
And so it ends up to leadership. The leadership has to call out people who shouldn't be there.
And I agree with you with respect to leadership, and that's why I started this initiative, Teach Us, teaching ethics and cultural history for urban stakeholders. Because I feel like after teaching courses on ethics and on the Constitution, that a lot of times people don't know, and they don't know that they're feeding into and buying into these stereotypes and these cultures. But ultimately, I think that walking away after seeing this and knowing that this happened, they can better understand why the community may be fearful of them, why folks may be hesitant, and in having that understanding, they can start dialogue and build and not really be confused or afraid, but everyone can kind of come to the table and say, okay, here's what happened and what we need to do